Alright. So down NewbieVet, got a special guest. We got my dude, Chantrice Hotep Dutty.
Yes, sir.
I nailed it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Alright. I had to practice that a little bit before I got to it, man. How your day going, King?
Oh, man, it's all good, man. You know, just living, man. Still here.
Okay, man. That's good, man. That's a blessing, man. So let's get into it, man. So originally you from here, Augusta, Georgia.
Yeah. Augusta, Georgia, like I said, out there in Hesper, just like borderline from Hesper and Augusta, Willis Foreman Road. Family got land out there, and then, you know, once Mom and Pop broke up, moved out to Glen Hill Circle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So that was most like when you mostly grew up in those neighborhoods there.
Right. Like I said, the land out there, I say about 10 or 11. Me and my brothers, then we went to Glen Hill Circle, and yeah, it was a different experience. You know what I'm saying?
Right. So what all schools you went to down?
I say Blythe Elementary, then went to Langford Middle School, Hesper Middle School, then Langford Middle School, then I went to Glen Hills, then I went to Hesper High, then I came back to Glen Hills and graduated.
Okay, cool. You was in sports or anything like that?
Yeah, I was in it, but I ain't get to really play for the schools. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, if I would have stayed at Hesper where all my partners was at, I would have played ball with them. But since they broke up or whatever, I had another trajectory.
Okay, so what was your mindset at that time? Like what you wanted to do, or what was your plans at that time?
Yeah, man, I could have swore I was gonna be an NBA player, man.
Okay. Were you gonna be like point guard or something like that?
Yeah, I was a hooper, point guard. Yeah, basically that's what that was. And once I got to Glen Hills, I just didn't cut it. Made the second cut, got cut by Coach Coyle. Shout out to Coach Coyle, rest in peace. And yeah, that was it, man. And then I just started acting a fool then.
How old were you then?
Shoot, man, that's probably about, man, I'm 48 now. So we talking 16, 15.
16, 15.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You ain't never been in any trouble at that time or nothing like that, have you?
Not as far as like going to jail.
Yeah.
But yeah, we was raising hell though. Yeah, we was raising plenty of hell.
Oh, okay. So when did the music come into play?
Music came into play, man. Me and the partners, we just going through something and had came into some money around 1998.
Mm-hmm.
I say about right before my 21st birthday. That year. And my partner, Thomas Bird, he had bought some studio equipment.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we was already familiar with our homeboy, with Southern Crime Family, DC and all them.
Right. Yeah, this is 98, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And we was kind of trying to walk in the footsteps of all our homeboys from Terrence Manor. I can't remember the name of their group at the time, but they was affiliated with M&P, 211. It was a whole bunch of groups around that time, and we was like trying to find our fitting with them. And they was gonna take us on South Breed. That's the name of it.
Okay.
They was gonna take us under their wing, and it was a slow process, but it seemed promising. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then this guy named T-Mac, he came out of nowhere, and I always wrote, but I never did project my voice. I ain't talk much, so he came and wanted us to do a song for him. I wrote my first verse. It took about an hour. And shoot, everybody went crazy about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
your first verse.
Yeah, so I knew I had something. I just had to keep going at it and working at it.
Right. So who all was hot at that time? Well, not hot. Well, as far as like who was out at that time, as far as around the city in like 98, 99, as far as doing music, you remember?
I say South Breed, Millionaires and Players.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Southern Crime Family. I remember listening to 211. And then we had it was some of them dance music people too.
Yeah, like
12
12
gauge,
and
yeah, what his name was, Splackavelli,
Splackavelli,
yeah, all them. My
Southern
cousin,
players.
yeah, my cousin Rico Daniels, he was in a group called Day One. They was
Okay.
an R&B group.
Now, shout out Day One, man.
Yeah.
My girlfriend's uncle, he was in that group.
Okay.
Tim.
Okay. Yeah, I know
Tim.
Tim. Yeah.
Yeah. Shout out Day One. Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
man.
So this is around that time.
Yeah.
So how was the city like? Was it unity back then at that time, or everybody mostly was in their own little way?
I kind of felt like I can't really tell, man, because we was in our own little bubble,
Right.
trying to blow up, but it was like only thing we knew was Millionaires of Players and Southbreed.
Cause they had the most noise.
Right, and we were just listening to them because they was doing it more professionally. Because you gotta think at the time, people were still writing on CDs. They wasn't doing that, this and that, and then they was already they was going to the A. So it was everything looked promising, man. I say shortly after that, that's when we started to hear about DSGB, Shifty 350, all the cats down here off of 12th Street.
Right.
Yeah, all them, man. So yeah, it was.
That was later on. What year was that? Like 2000 something?
They was already in it, but I ain't started hearing them until like 98, 99. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
When we started making a little noise, then you start going out to the clubs and doing music, doing shows with them.
Seeing other people.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know? So yeah, that's
okay. So what all you used to perform at back then?
Club Continuum.
What was that at?
That's right off of Ellis Street. It's another club right down the street from that. I think it's a car lot now.
Those the spots to perform at back then?
We was performing everywhere.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Y'all traveled too?
Yeah, we was in Carolina with it. We was talking to some people in Atlanta. But we had what they call 90% talent.
Right.
And 10% business.
And
right. that don't work.
So you felt like y'all would have got farther if y'all knew more of the business.
Right.
So y'all didn't have a manager?
Not really. We had people that was standing in, but
gotcha.
The cat who was putting the money behind us, he put the money up, and we made the album and whatnot. Right. But we only bought 1,000 copies. But the noise we did around the city, people thought we had done sold like 20,000.
Cause back then y'all used disc makers.
Yeah, disc makers.
Back then,
barcodes,
all that. Still, yeah. So, and y'all got rid of the 1,000. Now, getting rid of that many units is a big deal back then.
Yeah,
it was.
Yeah, we did a show with I think T.I. was the headliner. T.I. and Jeezy was the headliner. Jazzy Faye, when him and CeeLo was the group.
It was in Atlanta?
No, this was in Augusta.
Okay.
Who else? It was when Jeezy and Jazzy Faye was going at it about something. I can't remember. But we did it at the Civic Center. Tanksley, the one who put it together. I forgot his first name, but he was a police officer. Yeah, he was a good dude.
Okay.
So him and we was matter of fact, I just seen him today. A cat named Zeb.
Okay.
Zeb Winley, Cunningham. His brother Big Six used to play ball for the 76ers.
Mm-hmm.
He played ball for Glen Hills too. Zeb was like trying to be our manager. Right. He was helping us out, but it wasn't nothing on contract.
Mm.
And plus, we grew up with him and whatnot. So,
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So you had people in and out. Just people wasn't all the way in.
And his brother is the manager of A-Ball MJG, Sean Dew. So we had avenues, we had ways to get there, man. Like I said, business just wasn't right.
No, right. Yeah.
Talent don't do too much for you, man. But
how long did you the group last? Far as did you ever go solo or y'all?
Yeah, I went solo. I was always trying to go solo.
Okay.
But you know, we did the group thing first, and then I
How
started
long
doing solo.
that last?
I ain't gonna lie, man. If I was to make a call, we still the group.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, okay.
But
y'all never broke up. Y'all
nah. We just stopped doing music.
Okay, that's
you know
what's
what I'm
up.
saying. We still kick it to this day.
Okay.
But yeah, I couldn't stop the urge, bro. I kept going at it, kept figuring it out. I say around 2011, I bought my own studio, and I stayed in Meadowbrook. I turned my garage into a studio. I buried myself in there, man, and I figured it out. You know what I'm saying? I got help from Straw Balls, Maestro, Spielberg, anybody, Lex De Niro, anybody I can get an ear of, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then I paid to get a song done just to see how they do it. Then go back home and redo it again.
Yeah.
Trying to,
Mimic
what they were
it,
doing.
mimic what they did, yeah. Oh, that's dope, man. That's dope. So when you went solo, man, what was your idea, your plans on when you went solo?
Shoot, man. At first, I had started a company called Slum Dweller Entertainment.
Okay.
And it was me, my homie Saint Mike, and Two-Face, which is part of the Circle Boys when we started a group. We did some stuff, man. I just knew it wasn't quality ready.
Right.
But we got some nice songs, tucked away, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then, as I get older and started, doing more research on life period.
Right.
I started, doing away with religion and starting to realize, the stuff I was saying. And, the people, the cats that was coming up under us, they was doing some reckless stuff out there. And I felt somewhat responsible. And, I had to stop, talking about the stuff I was talking about on the records.
On records and stuff, right.
Yeah, man. And I switched it all the way up on them. I took a hiatus. Started working I was working at World Cup. That's when I met my wife. But the whole time I never gave up my job. So I just dove into the work and started writing and started, and like I said, I got my own studio. So as I'm trying different things, I'm liking what I'm trying. And then when I finally found myself, you know what I'm saying? That's when I changed my name to Hotep Dutty because it used to be Lil Dutty. And so I changed it to Hotep Dutty because, I say it's peace from the dirty South. That's my phrase because, Hotep is mainly food and peace, but roughly people think, when they hear it, is peace.
Right.
But it's a way to break it down, and if, sometimes I just don't, depending on who I'm talking to, I shouldn't have to do it all that.
Right.
Unless we doing an interview like that, this right here, so
Right.
But yeah, I broke it. I found peace, and once I found that peace, I said, man, I can rap like this.
Right.
So I tried it with my homeboys. They were like, hey, man, it's good, man. It's informational.
Right.
Because I found out through watching battle rap, it's different types. So you got punchliners, you got storytellers,
metaphors.
You got metaphors. And I'm like, bro, I can't do all that, but I can tell a good story. You know what I'm saying? And I could detail stuff. So once I found my flavor, man, I just started kicking it that way.
Right.
And everything I was learning, I put it into the music.
Right.
And it was necessary because it was like therapy. So I really wasn't planning on making no money off of it. I knew it was a small community, which people after I came out, the community just went to, I don't know, everybody started gravitating to it and taking what they took from it and making it what they call it.
Right.
It wasn't even what I had jumped into.
Right.
Nah, it wasn't like that no more. So,
right.
But I just kept doing music, man. I put out an album in 2018, The Circumference of My Awareness.
Okay.
So I'm just basically letting people know where I'm at with it.
Yeah. So,
they go through the album. I got some personal stuff in there, and I got a lot of information. You know what I'm saying? And I was kind of disappointed because I thought I would get more pushback on the information. But nah, ain't nobody want that smoke.
Yeah, right. Because you prepared for the retaliation.
Right. And then,
excuse me.
Next thing you know, the pandemic happened too. So when the pandemic happened, it was 2019 when I dropped. The pandemic happened 2020.
Yeah, 2020.
And shoot, man. At this time, I'm driving trucks. I started driving trucks. I left the other job and started driving trucks in 2016.
2016. What made you want to start deciding to drive truck?
Well, at first, man, the company, we had got bought out.
The World Color.
Right, we got bought out, and then
I know that sucks out the blue.
I was finna leave anyway.
Okay.
Cause see, my son, you know what I'm saying, which is my wife, biological son, my stepson, he started driving after 21. And I think this is 2014. And he had got his he was working at McDonald's, and he had got his income tax one year, early that year. And he had bought a 1993 Camry stick.
Oh, man.
But can't leave the yard because he can't drive a stick.
Can't drive manual at all.
So he said, man, I'm about to go drive trucks. Oh, yeah. He left, came back four months later, $50,000, and pulling up in the yard in the big rig. I'm like, boy, get in, man, get in. Hopped in, he took me around the city. I said, you can really drive this thing. He said, yeah, man. I said, hey. I said, you just opened my eyes to something.
Right.
Because I was going to get in and get my CDLs just to go get a hot shot business.
Right.
But once I got into it and he taught me the game, I said, you know what? I started seeing the Arabs and some of them other nationalities. They was pulling cars with their 18-wheeler. And they had 5-car pullers instead of 3-car pullers. So I was like, cool. So I started, I started getting the ball rolling on that, and then I said, well, let me go and pay this truck off first. So then I stayed in it and paid the truck off in 2021. But the whole time I'm writing, that whole album I did, I had my phone sitting right there in front of me on the stand, and I'm tapping the whole album.
The whole album?
The whole album. Ain't nothing I came home and wrote on the sofa or nothing. And you got to think, them first 3-4 years, I probably ain't come home but once a week. I probably came home 6 times out the whole year.
It's a lot of moving.
Had to get it, man.
Had to get it, man. I'm missing investment.
Yeah, for sure.
Put all that time and stuff into the truck and all the other stuff.
It sure paid off.
Yeah, man. So, how long you been driving all together now?
Like 9 years.
About 9 years. So what's the pros and cons of driving 18-wheeler?
Pros, learn patience. It's a lot of things you need to. Of course, you're gonna make money. But if you kill somebody or kill yourself, you can't make no money after that. You feel me? So you got to learn that most people get in it for the money. Right.
That's what majority of people get the CDL.
I got in it for the learning, the discipline of it. And matter of fact, my trainer, we called him Black Orion Jones. He from out of Florida. Man, mean cat. He was like he was in the army and whatnot. He's cool. He cool, good-hearted cat. But, man, hey, when it comes to that truck, he ain't playing no games.
I ain't playing no friends.
And, man, me and him the same age. And he got in there. I guess he thought I was going to be, going against him. I said, no, man, I'm in your world. You say don't get on the phone, I ain't on the phone. You say learn this, I'm learning that. So he taught me everything, man. Got me my license. We still cool to this day, man. And but, yeah.
That's what's up, man.
Once you learn that, you got a skill for life, because no matter what job or what company you leave, as long as your CDLs is valid and you got your tankers, your combos, your hazmats, you can go anywhere.
Anywhere in the world to work. Yeah, that's
anywhere.
What's up. Okay. What's the cons?
The cons, man, it's just, man, you're away from home. You're away from family. You're away from certain responsibilities that if you don't have support system to help you with those responsibilities, they're going to fall by the wayside. No matter how much money you got, unless you got everything on autopilot. And, you know, that's what I had most of my stuff on. But, you know, still you got mail that's coming to the house. And me being out as much as I was, 30 days have been went by before. And they say, hey, you got to do this in 30 days, you know. So, you know, you got to, hey, give me the email, send me the email, send me the text.
You got to catch up a lot of old stuff.
Right.
Yeah,
and,
that's
you know, my wife and kids, they helped out, you know, much as they could.
Yeah. But that's a lot. That's another thing I ain't want to get into CD. I'm like, yeah, that's a lot. Fuck, you know, but it's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice.
It's a sacrifice. That's what you want to do.
Yeah, and then, you know, certain areas you at, you don't know, but you in a bad area. But, you know, we who we are. Right. You know, I mean, who I am. You know, I wasn't like scared of nothing. I just didn't know. And then, but the truck at the time, I wasn't paid off. So the company be like, hey, don't go there because they'll steal this or they'll try to break into you. But I be like, man, I pull up depending on how late it is or exactly where I'm at. Like, in certain places, it's a truck stop in Memphis. It's a Love's in Memphis. I forgot the name of the road, but they get hit all the time.
So like just break in the truck?
Yeah, you go to sleep, come wake back up, back of your doors are wide open.
Yeah, golly.
Yeah, and if you know, and it's some creative people out there.
Yeah, man.
California, San Diego, L.A. It's some creative people out there. You know what I'm saying? You won't have no tires.
How do they snatch tires off that fast? On that bead, don't you gotta jack it up and all that, right?
Yeah, but I got a cousin, man. I watch him. That's who do my work now. Shout out Pop. I watch him do it. It ain't as hard, and he's kind of up in age, so he does it slow.
Right.
And he got a young cat with him that does it fast. I see them do eight tires in an hour.
Them big.
And I'm talking about big tires. Yeah,
big tires.
He go at it, man.
God.
It's a skill.
It's a skill, yeah.
It's a skill to it.
Especially if you've been doing it for so long.
You ain't got to get it off the ground but so much.
Right.
And it take air. But, you know, I don't want to call out the nationality, but them cats in California, them cats there, man, it won't take long for them at all. They were super creative.
So you also drive in worse weathers too, like bad weathers too.
Yeah.
What's the worst weather that you hate the most? I know you hate all of them, but what's the one you don't like the most?
I don't know, man. I always tell, you know, when we get out there talking at the truck stops, talking to other truckers, I always tell them I was born in the snow. So when I started in the snow. So the snow wasn't, it's scary, but it's not that bad to me because I realize it's different types of snow. You know, when you're out in the Midwest, it's more ice than snow, and then you go further out west, it's kind of like sawdust.
Yeah.
You get back over here, depending on what state you in, what city you in, everything up north they take care of it. They treat it. They treat the road
with salt and all that other stuff. Clear it up.
Down here, you even though it's the South, if it ice up down here, they only gonna treat the interstate. So if you got to leave out the interstate you got to be very, very, very careful.
Very careful, yeah.
I say the last storm that we had down here, I caught a load from New Jersey to Columbia, South Carolina.
Right. Yeah, right.
It was a hill that you had to go down to get to this farmer's market to drop these bananas off.
Right.
I knew it was going to be a problem going back, but I had to, get the load. So I delivered the load. On the way back up, I'm empty. I got enough speed to climb the hill, but it's iced. You got 2 red lights on the hill. Me being experienced, I ran the red lights. And if I stop, I'm dead. So I just kept running. I get to the top of the hill. Another truck was coming out of a facility. The cars couldn't stop. They hit the truck. They stopped at the light. They hit the truck. All the cars that was behind me that stopped at the light, they couldn't make it up the hill. They slid back down into each other. I kept riding. I got up there, I got on. I say,
that's terrible road.
it's experience, man. I done seen a couple of, I done been in a couple of hurricanes, like in Alabama, Mississippi.
Cool. You couldn't see nothing.
Nah. You just gotta ride. You hear it. You hear it coming. You know you watching your phone. You know you close by it, but you don't know exactly how close are you. So once you started feeling that truck rocking, if you ain't heavy, I probably would have felt it before. I say the worst weather is not really those type of conditions. The worst weather is just wind.
Nice.
Wind, a gust of wind out of nowhere, it'll flip you over.
Them big old truck.
Flip you over. I don't care what you got going on.
Dang, that's crazy.
They just had something in San Antonio, I believe. Trucks are trying to get down the interstate, it's flipping them over. Just flip you over. But yeah, in Wyoming, going across there, perfect weather. But it's in a valley.
So it's got that.
Wind's coming, and you know it's coming. So usually when I'm crossing there, I only crossed there once, empty. And they got signs, and they'll block the road and tell you if you empty or you lightweight, get off the road. Then you gotta watch the news or the apps or whatever.
Yeah.
And they'll tell you when you can get back on it.
So as a truck driver, y'all gotta check weather reports and all that.
Oh yeah.
That's part of y'all job, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You gotta stay on it. Now mind you, when I first started, I ain't check none of that stuff.
You was just driving.
I was just driving because I'm paying for the truck, but it's the company truck also. And if anything happens, they gonna pay it up front. I just pay them back later.
Right.
So that security just had me say, man, I'm just riding.
I'm just gonna ride. Right?
Hey, I'm just riding. Whatever I run into, I run into. I ran into some bad snow one time, blinding snow. Up there in Ohio, coming across, I'm coming across 80. Man, I'm talking about it was the worst snow ever. Everybody is pulling off or wrecking. I'm just riding. I'm riding. I'm trying to get, because I'm like, man, I gotta get this money and the money after.
Right.
So my windshield wipers was freezing up on me. I rolled the window down, take my seatbelt off, get all the way to the edge of the seat.
Yeah.
Catch the windshield wiper when it comes, slam it against the windshield to knock the ice off. Keep rolling. Keep rolling.
Getting it.
And then it fools you because it's only in Ohio or it's only in New York. So I done been through terrible weather and it only lasted 10 miles.
And then it just
and it's clear as all outdoors the next time. The next 10 miles. Or you might go through it for 30 miles and then the next 100 and something odd miles it's clear.
It's clear.
Yeah. It's like, boy, I'm glad I kept riding. Because if I would have stopped to go to sleep, messed my clock up, would have been there late.
Been late, right.
You know, the money.
Because the deadline.
Yeah, and then the money you count on, they're going to tell you, hey, man, don't worry about that. We'll do this and we'll do that. Nah, man, it's already counted for. You know what I'm saying? Nah, I'm going to get there, man. I'm going to get there.
Right.
And yeah, man. But it's an experience, man, you know.
And you see, you see the world.
Yeah,
you see a little bit of the world.
And that's a great pro right there because I say at World Color, I say towards the end, I was making good money, but child support and other stuff like that, I wasn't bringing it home. You know what I'm saying?
Well, child support be eating every damn thing.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, Yeah,
and shoot, man, I was looking around like, man, I should have this, I should have that. As long as I had my studio, I was good. But, you know, other stuff, you like, man, my car, I should have this kind of car. I'm like, all right.
I make the money for it.
Yeah, I said, this is what this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop worrying about the past, look towards the future, plan this thing out.
Right.
And that's when I started doing it. Once I got that mindset, man, I just started growing step by step, year by year, all the way up, man. And,
glad you say that, because people tend to dwell on the past a lot to a point where they have these sympathy parties, and they don't use that as leverage. Like, okay, let me overcome this because I haven't overcome it yet.
Right.
Because don't get me wrong, we all have traumas where we'll never get over those traumas. But we can overcome them by achieving some stuff and things like that. You know what I'm saying? But it will always be that, but that'll be an overcome story for us.
It's a mindset, man.
Right.
Whatever happened, how it happened, and when it happened, document it in your brain. Come up with a step-by-step. It don't have to be, all at once.
Right.
Come up with a step-by-step thing to get out of that. Stay out of that mindset and learn other things or stay open-minded.
Mm.
When you close-minded and you just, man, you don't know what I've been through. But what you've been through was 10 years ago.
Right.
How is you letting that affect you? And I'm not affecting you.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to show you something or teach you something and you don't want to learn it.
Right.
You're not being open-minded.
Right.
And that was one thing, once I started diving into the comedic science, and other, just alternative religions and information all together, I was like, you know what, man, I could take some of this over here. I could take some of that over there. I can make my own concoction, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And just be a better person for me. Because if I'm negative in any kind of way, regardless of what I'm trying to do good, it's not going to come off as good to somebody.
Right.
And you also can't worry about that because that's their control.
Right.
But you have to be cognizant of it, and you got to. I always think holistically, so just in case that scenario do come about, I can at least pivot and don't get back. Don't have another, don't react to what they saying or doing.
Right.
Just keep it moving.
Right.
You know what I'm saying, and that goes for family, friends, and all the above.
Right.
Kids also.
Facts. So do you feel like Augusta, Georgia, has changed for the better, or you feel like there's more work need to be done, or you feel like it's some bright things going on here? What do you say?
I like where we at as far as
economic wise.
I think we could be better.
Okay.
We could be way better.
Right.
Working at that plant, I heard a lot of like inside stories about the good old boys who pretty much run, it's everything in the city, in the state, even down to the county. You have representatives that want to run it their way. Not the people that can make changes.
Right.
The people behind them that do make changes. The people that has the money, and usually it be the corporations. And, like, this is not no facts. I'm just saying, I'm just calling out, like, let's say, Easy Go, let's say Procter & Gamble, well, that's gone, but Kimberly Clark, whatever somebody, Club Car.
Right.
Cause what I found out at World Color when a company called Quad Graphics took over. See, Quad Graphics came in from they was our competitor, but they was way lower than us. They couldn't compete with us. But what they did is World Color, the owner died. The son, he effed off the money and he had to sell out so many companies, or so many warehouses, and when he did that, because we was number 1 or number 2, and then when he did that, it opened us up to get bought out certain locations.
Right.
And when Quad Graphics bought us out, they came in with a great mindset, but see, they want to do automation and all this other stuff. We was keeping up with most companies manpower wise, but they were spending more money on manpower, and they wanted automation to take over. So year by year, they'll knock off about 100, 200 people.
Employees and
Right.
replace them with automated stuff.
Tried to.
It don't work.
But what they did was they just cut and kept it short. So instead of us running 7 days a week, we'll do 3 on, 4 off.
Mm.
And you can't get overtime like you want to. They changed a whole lot of stuff, man.
Hurt a lot of people's pockets.
Yeah, man. I'm talking about, cause that's when you young, you don't realize you working, you making good money, but it's really the overtime money that's paying you.
Yeah. Yeah, you learn about that and also learn about job security.
It's job security, trying to move up the ladder.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, folks was like, a quarter raise is like something you look forward to. 15 cents some people get.
Right.
And then we all talking and, hey, man, that, I done this, I done that. Then you got people who, brown nose and get over.
Oh, my God.
It was all in world color, man. That place alone was a city by itself.
Man, I think all them like them plants are like that, kind of like that. Kimberly Clark, Easy Go, Club Car,
Thermoceramics.
Yeah, all them like just if it's a warehouse space, relationships starts there. Baby mamas, baby daddies dramas.
Yeah.
Company dramas. It's a whole little world in there, like you said.
I was there 18 years. My wife was there, I want to say 23 years. So we met there.
Dang.
We met there and yeah, man. And we there on the same shift.
Right.
And it was challenging. It was
challenging. Working. How is that working with your future wife at that time?
Man, it was challenging. At first it wasn't really about nothing, and then it all depends on, I say, your insecurity. Yeah, you got this supervisor, you got these cats, these new people come in, they might want to holler at her or whatnot, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And then they find out, that's Treso lady or whatever, whatnot. Right. And, she probably heard the same.
Right.
And, it was challenging, man. It was a lot of rumors, and
whatnot. Oh yeah. I don't worked in the warehouse before with a girlfriend before, and just it was a tough time at that time because it's hard to kind of separate the. Okay, if we have a personal issue, it's hard for us to go to work. You know what I'm saying?
You ain't lying, man.
But
we handled it. I said we handled it the best.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not an insecure person.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Not as far as a relationship wise. You know what I'm saying? But money wise, yeah, I'm like, man, we need to be doing this and that. We should be living like this and that. You know what I'm saying? The money we making, but it was hurdles to jump over. And then once they cut all the hours,
oh yeah.
Then I'm like, man, what you doing on the side? You know what I'm saying? Hey, man, I pull cars, man. I do this with my brother. They got one called Puller. I make this out there, man. I might get into that. How much it is to do that?
Right.
Well, man, you gotta get your own authority, this and that. All right, cool.
Yeah, they get those.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
You got people started lawn care business. People was doing other stuff on the side, man.
Right.
It was a economy, man.
That's right.
It was a great economy, man.
That's
you know what I'm saying? I hated it at the time, but when I went to trucking,
whole different.
That stuff came into play so much.
Yeah.
The stuff I had to learn, the stuff, I had became one of the good young operators.
Right.
I was a machine operator at that time, so I knew how to turn a wrench or two. You know what I'm saying? So you out there on that road and something happens.
You gotta know how to turn that wrench.
Yeah, you gotta know how to turn a wrench or two, or at least have a mindset of what connects to what makes that, or have people on the phone that you can call.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Some people, they don't have none of that support, and man, they spending, the stuff I'm going through now with an older truck, going through the stuff I'm supposed to go through.
Right, because it's an older truck.
Right.
Yeah.
They was going through that with new trucks.
Right.
And then, you know, just being, you know, being in that garage every day, it's just like being in a truck. You know what I'm saying? It's I got a condo sleeper, so I got plenty of space. I ain't but 5'6".
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I got plenty of space. So, yeah, man, that was my home. You know what I'm saying? Pretty much.
Oh, that was up, man. That was up. That was up. So we think about the crime that's been going on in Augusta these last 5 years, man.
Yeah, man, it's sad to see. I just realized that, you know, they call them young cats the YNs now.
Yeah. I didn't know what I didn't know what the crap was a YN.
I was like, what's a YN? I'm like, I can't be with
Man,
that.
I was like, then my son told me, I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then they adapt to it.
Right. It be a teenager saying it, and then everybody just runs with it.
So when we was coming up, the cats who did the crime, it wasn't you had a lot of dope dealers that had to play defense.
Mm.
You had a lot of jackers who was playing offense.
Mm.
And some hybrids, the jacker was the dope dealer and vice versa.
Right.
And then they playing with the police force. And you got some of them, they're the same. They dope dealers and jackers also.
Right.
So I'd say it was more balanced back then.
Mm.
We had crime. We had people that did a lot of stuff. And if you had your ear to the street or you knew something about you, it was like balance.
Right.
Certain people had certain respect. Certain places had certain respect. You just didn't go over there and do nothing. As we got older, more people got put in jail or lost their lives and or moved away. The kids that started growing up under us, man, they just I say once we came into play, it was a lot of gunplay. It was a lot of gunplay, but it was still fighting. It was still a lot of fighting, but it was a lot of gunplay. Man, I say once I was at World Color and it was all gunplay. You know what I'm saying? Next thing I look up, it's all gunplay. Ain't no fight.
It's in the workforce and everything.
Everywhere.
It's everywhere.
I'm
like
talking
people
about
feel like
Taco
you can
Bell,
avoid it. It's everywhere.
Sonic, Burger King.
Everywhere. Chuck E. Cheese.
They strapped working.
Everywhere.
And I'm like, goodness. And I'm like, is it about
Did it
females?
Get that bad?
It ain't even about female.
Because y'all didn't walk around like that.
No,
back then. Yeah.
no. You probably had out of 6 people, 1 or 2.
You might maybe had it on.
Right.
Those, yeah. But everybody else
coming up.
Yeah, coming up. Right.
Now as we got older, I say around that I say 98. When I'm saying we doing music, we started doing music.
Right.
We wasn't known as a music. We was known as a neighborhood called the Circle Boys.
Mm.
And we was participating in a lot of fighting and whatnot. But you know, at the schools, at the after school, after games and stuff like that.
Right.
At the at the clubs or whatnot. And but it was still like a battle tested thing.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That gun stuff came into play, I say, right after us, and man, I'm talking about people just getting knocked off left and right. And then certain kids just, that's all they was about. You know. But I'm just thinking of names and I'm trying not to say them, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
But you know, it just like, man, it was crazy, man. And then, like I said, we came into some money, man, and at one time the whole city was the older, but they was after us, and we could have turned into one of them YNs.
Mm.
But we played it smart. Cause it wasn't just them against us. It was the police officers too that had street connects. So we played it smart, man, and did what we had to do, man, and wiggle our way out of it. I say I got locked up probably in 98. And that was the best thing because it took me out the streets.
Mm.
When it got me out the streets, it didn't take long for me to, realize, oh, nah, this ain't for
This ain't
me.
me. Oh, nah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I probably did about like 10 months, end up going to boot camp, prison boot camp, whipped you in shape. Man, I got out of there, went straight to World Color.
Yeah.
I had worked there once before,
Right.
quit. Shoot, I went straight there.
Straight back.
Straight there. I went there in 3 days.
Mm.
And I stayed there 18 years right after that. And I'm just hearing about what's going on, but man, I can't participate in it because
Right.
I got kids. You know what I'm saying? I have a significant other now. You know what I'm saying? So
Right.
nah.
Oh yeah.
Bills is accumulating.
What? Them bills don't stop.
Don't stop.
Whether you here or not.
Right, man. And
Facts.
so
Right.
a lot of those cats they don't be into that. I can't call it. Cause I'm trying to think of any ones I was close to.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of them just was in the wrong place at the wrong time, or man, they just got mad one time and went off.
Mm.
Now I know a few cats that was their livelihood, but they wasn't the ones being picked on. They was the ones. They was like the executioner.
Oh Lord, those are the dangerous ones.
Yeah.
Dangerous ones.
Yeah.
Man. Yeah, man.
But they was so respectful.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So respectful to
The killers were very respectful.
Right, man.
That's crazy. All right, man. So before we slide off on NewbieVet, man, how can they get in contact with you for any bookings or any services and any love you want to shout out?
Yeah, man. Shout out to my family, man. Support system, my wife, my son, my daughters. Shout out to World Color, man, since they've been a big topic of this interview.
Right.
Taught me a lot, man. As far as the music, I'm on TikTok. I just dropped a new song called Big Truck Driver. It's
Big Truck Driver.
Yeah, I don't even know how that. I just heard the song and the beat that came out. Other than that, I wasn't doing nothing about and they love it. So you know what I'm saying. I'm pushing that. I'm probably pushing that for the rest of the year. TikTok, Hotep Dutty. Facebook, Hotep Dutty. Instagram, Hotep_Dutty. And the same at X. But man, I ain't gonna front. I don't be on there like that. You know what I'm saying?
I don't be on it neither. I don't know how to use it.
I be driving, and when I get downtime, I get on it and clear my notifications or whatnot, see what I can see. But man, I be driving long hours.
Yeah, I would say you be driving.
Now I got my own authority. I run my own company.
Mm.
You know what I'm
So
saying?
you make your own time and schedule.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So that in itself, if anybody want to learn about that part of the game of trucking, they can get at me. On Wilcox Transportation. It's on Facebook also. I think it's on Instagram also. I used to have a website. Lost track of time. It got knocked off. I ain't never get one rebuilt.
Time.
Yeah.
Time,
but
man.
Yeah, man. But yeah, I appreciate what you doing here, bro.
Nah, no problem, man. I appreciate you coming out, King.
Yeah, for sure, man. I love this setting, man. I appreciate what you do for the city.
No, I appreciate it, man. Appreciate it.
For sure.